The weather's finally getting warmer, the days are getting longer, things are beginning to look green again, and at last it stopped raining. This means that there are some trips to trail centres and bike parks just around the corner, and I can't wait. Yeah. There is one problem with my plan. My bike. I need to make a few changes to it to get it bike park and trail centre ready. So, the first job, get the bike clean. When washing my bike, I tend to go over the whole thing with water to get all the major grime off. Once the worst of it's gone, I hit it with a bike wash. Once I've sprayed that on, it's then time to get a sponge and brushes involved to give it a proper clean. Now, it's really worth taking time to make sure you give your bike a proper going over because it can actually extend the life of your bike and its components. With that out of the way, we can now crack on with the upgrades. I started making upgrades to my enduro bike a couple of weeks ago with a new set of pedals that I'm trying out. But today I need to sort out the frame protector and install some new tyres and tyre accessories. As you'd have seen from my POV footage, I've got some Dibro frame protector on some of the main parts of my bike, and I think you'll agree, it adds a bit of pizzazz to the frame. But I also have some other, less jazzy frame protection on other areas too, and it's getting a bit ratty in places and even starting to fall off, probably not providing much protection anymore. The best way to remove this is with a heat gun, or in my case, my girlfriend's hairdryer. So let's get cracking. I used a hairdryer on the whole area to help loosen off the glue as much as possible. This should mean it's a lot easier to take off, and it may even come off in one piece if we're lucky. Easy. So it turns out that actually came off pretty easy. At the moment I'm replacing it with some of this clear 3M frame tape. It's pretty cheap and will protect the frame until I can find something a bit more exciting. Before doing anything, I clean the whole area with alcohol wipe to get as much grime off the frame as possible. I then went about cutting the new protector to size, and this is why it's so important to try and get the old one off in one piece, because I can trace around it and simply cut it out to the size I want without any faff. The hard part about this is getting the sticker oriented and stuck down properly, especially when the bike's rear triangle is in the way. The idea is that you get it on smooth without any air bubbles in it. To do this I used a sponge to help, but I suggest you use something a bit stiffer to get rid of any bubbles. I actually found this bit really tricky. There's also an access point in my frame that I wanted to cover up, and this made getting the sticker down flush pretty impossible, as you can see. And to be honest, I made a pretty poor go of it in general. I moved on to a few other more easily accessible parts of the frame with much better success rate. Despite the pretty rubbish job I did in a few places, I used the hairdryer to help get rid of a few more bubbles and to help the protector stick as best I can. In general, it doesn't look too bad for the most part, and it looks even better if you squint your eyes just a bit, but at least it will protect the frame from any major scratches while I ride. Now that the frame protection is complete, it's onto the wheels. For the last year I've been running Schwalbe tyres front and back, and today it's time for a change. I've got a set of Maxxis Minin DHF and DHR2. I've been really impressed with Maxxis tyres in the past, so I want to see how I get on with them on my enduro bike. I've also been using tyre inserts for the last 6 months, and I'm keen to keep them in. They can come in handy to pretty much eliminate pinch flats, act as a bead lock, improve traction and ride quality as well. However, using inserts can make it a heck of a lot harder to put tubeless tyres on. So here we go. There are so many videos and techniques on the best way to get tyres and inserts on. Some suggest working top to bottom, some swear by using something to wrestle them on with, or wetting the tyre first. I watched plenty of YouTube videos on the best ways to get this done, but it can be a really tricky task no matter how you do it. So just stick with what works for you. But finally, and after much struggle, I got both my tyres on. With all that out of the way, the last thing to do is fill in with sealant and pump them up. To do this, you take out the valve cores, fill a syringe with sealant, trying not to get it everywhere. Connect it up, then slowly fill up the tyres. Afterwards, don't forget to put your valve cores back in. The last thing to do is to pump the tyres up to make sure they seal onto the rims properly. You usually hear a loud ping when they get seated. When it's done, I always like to give them a spin just to spread the sealant around a bit. And there we are, we're done. So here she is, my Bikepark and Trail Centre ready Cube stereo. I can't wait to take this down some trails all over the place this year. And now I'm finally ready for action. So I pretty much made a pig's ear of installing some frame protector and then wrestled the tyre on for half this video. So this isn't really meant as an instructional video, more just a reminder that no matter how many YouTube videos you watch beforehand, it's a very different thing when you're putting these on for yourself. If you like this video, give it a like or hit subscribe, and I'll see you next week for some more mountain bike action. Until then, thanks for watching, I'm out.